We finished the first part of our press assembly, so now let's move on to the second part. We're adding the library components, which are basically cataloged parts with standard measures. Therefore, they don't need to be drawn again. Let's understand how both libraries work as a start, okay? Then we'll take a look at the folders that divide the parts categories. Right here, we can see the libraries, and they can be private or public. But what's their main difference? The most remarkable difference is that the public library is used when we want to download something from the internet. In this case, the download is made and imported to the software's library, making it viable to use other components. On the other hand, the private library is the standard library embedded in the software, making the most used components available to the user. Moving on to the folders, let's discover which is the right path to the components we need. First, we open the private library, selecting the standard folder to see the inside folders with the components already available with our software. Then we open the 3D Solid, Mechanical, and Fasteners folder. We can find many others like bolts, nuts, pins, rivets, and washers in this folder. Opening the bolts folder, we're looking for countersunk. Open it and select the option ISO 10642. Then select Insert Component. Let's select the screw's specifications, which in this case will be the M6X20. Then you just need to insert a reference point and use the mates concentric and coincident. Now we'll add the missing screws, following our last steps. Moving on, it's time to add the nuts, and for doing so, we'll open the nuts folder, followed by the cap nuts folder. We'll select the capped nut that is already on the folder, and we're adding it to our assembly just like we did before with the screws. Select Insert Component, its specification, which is M6, and restrict it with the mates you need. Now we need the lower nuts, right? They can be found on the hex folder, and the correct nut is the DIN 934. So we'll select it and add it to our assembly by clicking on Insert Component. Again, position it with the mates, and that's it. Our press is ready. Well, guys, that's it for today. Remember to subscribe, click the notification bell to receive our alerts for our weekly training videos.